Have you ever received a query from customs saying that declare value appears low? Please justify the valuation, or perhaps customs has compared your import price with another importer and asked you to explain the difference. If yes, this video is very important for you because a custom valuations dispute can delay your shipment, increase your duty liability, and create unnecessary compliance problems. Hello everyone, I'm Sachin Karadmal, your EXIM career coach, and in the today's video, I will explain why customs dispute import valuations, what documents you should prepare, how you should respond, and how EXIM professional can handle valuation disputes effectively. So let's get started. Part 1, what is custom valuations? First, let's understand the basics. Under Section 14 of the Customs Act 1962, the primary basis for valuation of imported goods is the transaction value. Broadly, the price actually paid or payable for the goods subject to the conditions prescribed under the law. But customs valuation is not always equal to simply taking the invoice value. Certain additions may have to be considered, such as applicable freight, insurance, packing, certain commissions, assist, royalties or license fees, and other specified payments, depending on the circumstances. The detailed mechanism is provided under the Customs Valuation Rule 2007. So remember, invoice value is the starting point, but customs value must compile with the valuation rules. Part 2, why does custom question valuation? Now the important question, why would customs doubt your declared value? There can be several reasons. For example, number 1, the declared value is significantly lower than comparable imports of identical or similar goods. Number 2, there is an abnormal discount. Number 3, the transaction involves special discounts or unusual commercial arrangements. Number 4, there are maybe differences or misdeclaration related to brand, grade, specifications, quantity, country of origin or quality. And number 5, customs may identify inconsistency or concern in the supporting documents. Under Rule 12, when the proper officer has reasonable doubt about the truth or accuracy of the declared value, the importer may be asked to provide further information, documents or evidence. And importantly, if the importer requests it, the grounds for doubt and opportunity of being heard are provided before the final decision. Part 3, the biggest mistake importer make. One of the biggest mistake I see in EXIM operations is this: the importer simply replies, "Our supplier has given us this price." That answer alone may not be sufficient. You need to demonstrate why your price is commercially reasonable. For example, is your quantity different? Is your product specifications are different? Is there a volume discount? Is the product a new model? Is there a promotional price? Are the payment terms are different? Is the supplier offering a special commercial discount? Is there a difference in delivery terms or other contractual conditions? Your response should be based on facts and documentary evidence, not on assumptions. Part 4, documents you should keep ready. So what documents should importer prepare? Here is my practical checklist. First, commercial invoice. Make sure the invoice clearly explains the product description, quantity, unit price, total value, currency and applicable terms. Second, purchase order or sales contract. This helps establish the agreed commercial terms between buyers and the seller. Third one is supplier quotation or price list. If you received a quotation before placing the order, preserve it. Fourth is payment evidence. Keep the letter of credit, bank payment documents, remittance details or other relevant evidence. Fifth one is product specifications. Technical specifications can be extremely important when customs compares your product with another imports. Sixth number is discount or price negotiation evidence. If you received a special discount meant in the email correspondence, quotation revisions, agreement or other evidence explaining the discount. Seventh number is comparable import data, where legitimately available. If customs has compare your price with another import, analyze whether the comparison is actually like for like. And finally, related party documentation. If the buyer and seller are related, remember, good documentation can turn a valuation dispute into valuation explanation. Part 5, how to respond to customs valuation query. Now let's come to the most important part. How should you actually respond? I recommend using a simple 5-step approach. Step 1. Understand the exact objection. Don't immediately accept or reject the customs observation. Read the query carefully. Understand whether customs is negotiating the price, product description, quantity discount, related party relationship, or supporting documents. Step 2. Verify your commercial facts. Check the purchase order, invoice, contract, quotation, payment terms, and product specification. Step 3. Analyze the comparison. If customs has referred to another import value, don't compare only the price. Check product, quantity, brand, grade, specification, country, commercial level, timing, Incoterms, and other relevant factors. Step 4. Prepare documentary evidence. Don't simply write our price is correct. Instead, explain our declared value is based on these commercial circumstances, and here is the documentary evidence supporting it. Step 5. Submit a professional written response. Your response should be factual, structured, and supported by documents. Avoid emotional arguments or unsupported statements. Part 6. What happens if transaction value is not accepted? Now here is the another critical point. If the declared transaction value cannot be accepted under the applicable rules, customs does not simplify, have limited freedom to choose any value. The customs valuation rules provide a sequential valuation mechanism. Broadly, valuation moves through Rule 3, transaction value, then where applicable. Rule 4, identical goods. Rule 5, similar goods. Then Rule 7, deductive value. Rule 8, computed value. And finally, Rule 9, residual method. The rules also specify what types of additions and cost may be included in determining transaction value under Rule 10. So, EXIM professionals should understand not only the invoice value but the entire valuation framework. Part 7, special case related party imports. One more important area is related party imports. Many companies import goods from their overseas group companies, subsidiaries, or associated enterprises. Being related does not automatically mean that the transaction value must be rejected. The customs valuation rule provide mechanism to examine whether the relationship influenced the price and whether the transaction value can be accepted. Therefore, related party imports should maintain strong documentation around pricing policy, commercial agreements, comparable transactions, transfer pricing documentation, and the circumstances surrounding for the sale. So let me give you one simple formula to remember. Don't fight customs valuation query with arguments. Handle it with facts, documents, and commercial logic. As an EXIM professional, your role is not simply to prepare a bill of entry. You should be able to understand why customs is asking the question, what evidence is required, how the valuation rules apply, and how to communicate professionally with customs and your internal stakeholders. If you found this video useful, like the video, share it with your EXIM colleague, and subscribe to my channel for more practical export-import knowledge and EXIM career guidance. I'm Sachin Kharatmal, your EXIM career coach. I'll see you in the next video. Keep learning and keep growing.